does Black Supreme Court justice? Louis was the first Black child to go to an all-white school. She was brave and strong. George Washington. He was a scientist called the Peanut Man. Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson. The first Black Major League Baseball player. Harriet Tubman. He saved Black people from slavery. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He gave a great speech, and the speech was called "I Have a Dream." Rosa Parks. She rode the bus and she was not nervous when the man came up here and said, "You can't sit there." This is Barack Obama. He's the first African American president.
It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do-ah. It don't mean a thing, all you gotta do.
Katie Wiley was born February 28th, 1977. He is famous for his artwork. He finished his first painting in 2001, and started taking art classes at the age of 11. His most famous painting is the Barack Obama portrait.
Jacob Lawrence was a painter. He lived from September 7th, 1917 to June 9th, 2000. He painted with blacks and browns mixed with bright colors. He was a teacher at the University of Washington. He was a very famous painter for making paintings of African American history.
Faith Wrinkle made stories quilts that communicate her belief. Stories are set in the context of African American history.
Jacob created paintings about everything he saw. He was in the army and painted things in his life. Jacob loved painting workers, construction buildings. When he was old, he taught art classes. Jacob was born in September 7th, 1917. He died in June 9th, 2000. Jacob art was modern art, cubism, and social realism.
His work was celebrated heroes of Black history, most known for the Migration series. This is number 58 of the series.
Hi, my name is Kitsali. My Black artist is Clementine Hunter. I chose her because she was the first African American woman who presented only her work in an exhibition. Clementine Hunter was born in Louisiana, December 1886, and died January 1988. Who did the math? How old did she live? Yes, as a matter of fact, she lived 102 years ago. She was an American folk artist. Does anyone know what that means? That means you don't go to school to learn about painting. She didn't start to paint until she was 50 because back then Black people weren't allowed to do anything because of slavery. She painted what she saw in her real life. She used whatever materials she could find in the barn to paint. I painted these flowers because they are Clementine Hunter's favorite flowers. These flowers are called zinnias. In Clementine Hunter's paintings, some of them have zinnias in them because in real life, in Louisiana, there are a lot of them there.
Hi, my name is Abby Morales, and today me and my partner Luz are going to talk about what Simone Biles does in life. Fun facts. First fact. She wants to get a real job after she's done competing. Second fact. Simone Biles is the world's best African American female athlete. Third fact. She loves experimenting things with eye makeup. Fourth fact. Simone has a total of 32 Olympic gold medals and world championships.
Fact 5. Simone is the shortest athlete of all 5'5" U.S. Olympics. Another fact is that Simone is scared of bees.
Nine facts you probably didn't know about Obama. Number 1. His birthday was August 4th, 1991. His birthplace was Hawaii. His birth name was Brock Hudson Obama Jr. His father's name was Brock Hudson Obama, and his mother's name was Stanley Ann. And his marriage was Michelle Obama, and their children's name was Nashia and Mila. Their education was Columbia University, 1983, Harvard University, 1991, and their religion is Christian.
It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing.
Her name is Michelle Levance Robinson Obama. She worked hard to reach her goals. She created a health program. Her birthday is January 17, 1964 in Chicago, Illinois. She is married to Barack Obama. She has a Grammy Award.
Do I, 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 do I.
Presenting for Black History Month is Jackie Robinson, a civil rights activist, Major League Baseball player. Directly quotes what he said. A life is not important except the impact it has on other lives. Number 2, I don't let my mouth say nothing my head can't stand. Number 3, I don't think it matters what I believe, only what I do. Passionate about Jackie, he had a passion about for sports at an early age, and he played football, basketball, baseball, and track for the UCLA. Effort by Jackie Robinson, that he never listened to anyone that told him he can't make it pro, so he never gave up and followed his dreams. Talent. His talent was how he played, and people got his attention, and they saw how well he did.
Global connections. Jackie played Jackie played football, baseball, basketball, and track for UCLA.
Life event.
1947, Jackie played his first major league game. The fans and teammates made fun of him. He did well. He won the Rookie of the Year, second life event. Jackie played semi-pro football for the Honolulu Bears. Robinson meets with the Brooklyn Dodgers and general manager Branch Rickey. And agrees to a contract with the organization. Robinson is assigned to the Montreal Royals of the International League. He was born on January 31st, 1919. In Cairo, Georgia, he died on October 24th, 1972 from a heart attack with underlying diabetes. Lesson learned that Jackie had to go through a lot of bad stuff, but it didn't stop him from giving up.
And that was our project from Black History Month.
It don't mean a thing, all you gotta do is sing. Do-ah, 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 do-ah. It makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. Just give that rhythm everything you got. Oh, it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do-ah, 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 do-ah. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do-ah, do-ah, do-ah.
I can accept Failure, everyone fails at something, but I can't accept not trying. Michael Jordan quotes, "Never say never because limits like fears are often an illusion." Michael Jordan is the first African American basketball player to average 30 or more points.
Michelle Obama was the first lady of the United States from 2009 to 2017.
Michelle's top 3 quotes. When they go low, we go high. Second quote, education was power. Third quote, failure is an important part of your growth. She also worked and supported poverty awareness. Michelle Obama. Rosa Parks is a person that wanted equal rights.
She wanted this because she was treated differently for her skin color.
She thought that maybe other people would feel like this, so she tried to stop it.
She never gave up till she could try her best.
Don't mean a thing, all you gotta do is sing, do I. It makes a difference if it's sweet or hot. Just give that rhythm everything you got. Oh, it do.
Katherine Johnson was born on August 26, 1918. Katherine was born in White Sulphur Springs in West Virginia. Katherine discovered the path for a spacecraft to go around Earth and land on the moon. She succeeded by calculating the path for Freedom 7, and she improved science by making a space exploration possible. Katherine Johnson graduated college at 18, and she died at February 24, 2020.
Macy Jemison was born on October 17, 1956. She moved to Chicago at the age of 3 for her education, and she had a fascination for all things related to science. She used to work at a Cambodian refugee camp in Thailand, and she applied for NASA in 1985. She left NASA in 1993 after serving as an astronaut for 6 years. She flew her only space mission on STS-47. She was a scientist inspired to be a scientist because of Star Trek, and she is passionate about dance.
Miriam Daly was born in Corona, New York, and she was born in April 16, 1921. She discovered the effects of cholesterol and mechanics of the heart. She forced all of her work into chemistry, and so she was able to succeed.
The person I study is Joanne Merle Owens. I am studying Joanne Merle Owens, a married biology corals and an American educator, and received degrees in geology, fine arts, and guidance counseling. Where was Joanne Merle Owens born? Joanne Merle Owens was born in Miami, Florida, and she was also born on June 30th, 1933. Why did Joanne succeed? Because she was able to construct her own marine biology degree. What did Joanne Merle Owens discover, and how did her discovery help? Joanne Merle Owens discovered coral biologist, and she was the first African American woman to be awarded a geology PhD. Her discovery helped improve science because her discovery was to develop a multi-dimensional pain scale to help improve science. When Joanne Morel was a child, she was fascinated by the life of the sea. When Joanne was a child, she was particularly fascinated with the corals in the sea. Fun facts about Joanne. 1. Joanne was a teacher in her olden days. 2. She earned a master's degree in guidance and counseling. 3. She was the first African American woman to be awarded a geology PhD.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. Neil deGrasse Tyson discovered star formation, exploding stars, dwarf galaxies, and the structure of the Milky Way. He was born on October 5, 1958 in Manhattan, New York. He did his work because his parents also did it, and he got interested into astronomy.
Don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do I, 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 do I.
Fun fact about Norbert Elias. He was mad at a teacher of applied mechanics at the school at age 20, the youngest instructor ever. Norbert Elias' parents are Vincent Elias, Constance Vivant. Norbert Elias improved science by making sugar more sweet. Norbert Elias was born on New Orleans, Los Angeles. He was born on March 17, 1806. Died October 8, 1884. Paris, France. He discovered evolutionized sugar processing with the invention of the multiple effect evaporator.
Joan Merle Owens. She was born in Miami, June 30th, 1933. She died on May 25th, 2011 at age 77. Fun fact about her, she was the first African American woman to be awarded a geology PhD. What did she discover? She discovered corals, and she worked underwater to discovering sea creatures.
Margaret S. Collins. Margaret was born on September 4th, 1922, Institute WV. Margaret died on April 27th, 1996, Cayman Islands. Margaret went to the University of Chicago through 1943 and 1950, West Virginia State University, 1942. Margaret was known for termite civil rights advocacy. Margaret was the fourth of 5 children of Ronald James and Leonard James. Margaret was surrounded by nurturing and educated family. Both of her parents were college-educated, and her father received bachelor's and master's degrees from Tussinger
58th and died on April 21st, 2016. Prince was inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for his spectacular performance at the Super Bowl while performing the song Purple Rain.
Dorothy Vaughan was a mechanic and an admin supervisor. Dorothy was the first African American to work for NASA. Mary Jackson was born on April 9, 1921. She married Levi Jackson. She was hired by NASA in April 1985. She retired on NASA on February 11, 2005. Died February 11, 2005 at age 83. She was played a part in the movie Hidden Figures, which was based on her life.
Jesse Owens was a Olympic runner and the first Black Olympic runner to he was the first Black Olympic runner and beat the 1938 Berlin Olympics, which was ran by Hitler. So obviously, the break to what Hitler believes was the perfect human being.
Michelle Obama was born on January 17, 1964 in Chicago, Illinois. She was the first African American First Lady, and she is also an author.
George Washington Carver was a scientist, but contrary to popular belief, he did not invent peanut butter, but he made many inventions with peanut butter, soybeans, and many other things. He also helped Black or African American farmers become more self-reliant and more sustained.
Michael Jordan was born on February 17, 1963. His number is 23, wore on most of his jerseys. He was technically never cut off of his high school basketball team. As a basketball player, he still held on 30 points per game. He also played for professional baseball. Michael Jordan played for the Wizards and donated his first salary to 9/11 relief.
Good afternoon, my name is Chaslyn. And I am Analia. We are here to tell you about famous African American saints.
Well, we would like to tell you about them, but there's a problem.
Yes, there is. There are none.
That's correct. There are no African American saints yet.
That's right. Even though there aren't any yet, there are some important African Americans up for sainthood, and you should learn about them.
Our class has spent time researching and learning about 6 African Americans who are on the road to sainthood.
First on the list is Venerable Pierre Toussaint. He lived from 1766 to 1853. He was born a slave in Hatai, where he was baptized Catholic. He was brought to New York City. He eventually was freed. The Toussaints were philanthropists and leaders in the Black community, helping to found the first Catholic school for Black children in New York, establishing a credit bureau and employment agency and nursing cholera patients.
Next is servant of God Mary Elizabeth Lange. She lived from 1794 to 1882. She was born in a free French-speaking community in Cuba, the granddaughter to a well-to-do plantation owner, but moved to the United States as a child. Lange started a school for free Black children in Baltimore, where the first public schools serving Black children wouldn't be open until after the Civil War. She founded the Oblate Sisters of Provence, the first American order for women of color. Though primarily founded to educate African American children, the order also nursed the sick, cared for the elderly, and did anything else the community needed. Next is Venerable Henriette DeLille. She lived from 1813 to 1862. DeLille wanted to show free women of color that their lives didn't have to be dictated by the racist system that they had been born into. DeLille chose Christ. She began a religious order of women of color to serve the elderly. Though many church and state officials in Louisiana opposed a religious order of African American women, her small group of educated black women eventually became the Sisters of the Holy Family.
Servant of God, Julia Greeley was born into slavery in Missouri between 1835 and 1848 and died in 1918. She was freed in 1865 and made her way to Denver, where she was converted to Catholicism. She lived very simply, giving away all she could and begging on the streets to be able to provide more to the poor. Greeley loved the Sacred Hearts and firefighters. She visited every fire station in the city each month to give pamphlets about the Sacred Heart.
Venerable Augustus Tolton lived from 1854 to 1897. He was the first African American Catholic priest to acknowledge his African heritage publicly. Born a slave, Tolton and his family escaped to Illinois, where he was called to become a priest, despite the racism he faced from white Catholics. Unfortunately, Tolton was rejected by every American seminary because of his race. Finally, he was accepted at a seminary in Rome. He never gave up on serving God and his people.
Finally, we have servant of God Thea Bowman, lived from 1937 to 1990. She was born into a Methodist family, but her experience at Catholic school led her to convert to Catholicism at age 9. She became a nun in the Franciscan Sisters of Perpetual Adoration, the only black sister in the community. She was also a teacher. She was a powerful voice against racism and worked full-time in a black Catholic ministry, explaining the beauty of African American Catholic spirituality to people and to the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops.
We will have our posters on display for you to see, and we hope you take time to learn about these remarkable people and pray to them and for them.
It makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. Just give that rhythm everything you've got. Don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Don't mean a thing, all you gotta do is sing. Makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. Just give that rhythm everything you got. No.
We did Lena Horne. Who is Lena Horne? Lena Horne was a singer, actress, and civil rights activist who first established herself as an accomplished live singer and then transitioned into film work. Lena Horne's early life. Lena Mary Calhoun Horne was born on June 30th, 1917 in Brooklyn, New York. Her parents separated when she was 3 because her mother traveled as part of various theater troupes. Horne lived with her grandparents for a time. Later, she alternately accompanied her mother on the road and stayed with family and friends around the country. At age 16, Lena Horne dropped out of school to help support her mother and become a dancer at the Cotton Club in Harlem, New York City. In 2 years at the Cotton Club, she appeared entertainers such as Cab Calloway and eventually started in her own shows.
Quote, you have to be taught to be second class. You're not born that way. Don't be afraid to feel angry as loving as you can. Because when you feel nothing, it's just that. I found along the way that they like you a little imperfect.
Amanda Gorman. Early life of Amanda Gorman. Amanda Gorman and her twin sister were born on March 7, 1998 in Los Angeles, California. Amanda was raised by her mother, who was a single mother of two, which was Amanda and her twin sister. Amanda's mother is Joanne Wicks, who worked in a grammar school as a 6th grade English teacher. Amanda's twin sister, Gabrielle Gorman, is an activist, film writer, producer, director, and filmmaker. When Amanda was a young child, she started making her own poetry. At age 16, she served as a young delegate for the United Nations. Who is Amanda Gorman? Amanda Gorman is an American poet and activist. Amanda is known for her works that address Black identification, feminism, marginalization, and climate change. She obtained international fame when she read one of her poems named The Hill We Climb on January of 2021 at the inauguration of U.S. President Joe Biden.
What does Amanda Gorman do for a living? Amanda Gorman is a poet, author, and activist. She gained international fame when she read at the U.S. presidential inauguration. She immediately combated the audience with her poise and her message after she read her poem for Biden's inauguration. She then gained the attention of professional agency, and she is now booking gigs with many institutions and companies.
Amanda's purpose. Amanda Gorman's purpose was to stand up for everyone and standing up for herself. She wants to end racism. Her work focuses on issues of oppression, feminism, race, and marginalization. In her poems and writings, she stands up for what she believes in and writes her hopes for a better future.
The inaugural poem and its importance. The inauguration poem is important because it reflects on the U.S. history and invites a new president to the White House. Amanda Gorman's delivery through her poem made poetry a vital stirring of the ceremony. Gorman drew upon the contemporary style of spoken word poetry. She emphasizes the rhyme and rhythm of the poet's voice as she speaks. Amanda's importance in the inaugural poem is that she is the youngest inaugural poet in U.S. history. Facts about Amanda Gorman. Amanda Gorman attended Harvard University. She also has a speech impediment and is the youngest inaugural poet in American history. Amanda has written 2 books, Change Sings and The Hill We Climb. She is also an activist and wishes to be president one day.
This is Amanda's poem that she read in the inauguration. And this is Amanda. This is her at the inauguration. And then this is The Hill We Climb.